Alrighty. Should we just get straight into the reacts, bro? This one is interesting. Dude, as you guys know, everybody has been dumping on our favorite game, especially the people outside. Oh, where's my camera? Hello? Hey. Dumping on Bungie recently. The criticism is well deserved, but I saw this Axeman video yesterday and I figured we should watch it today. The never-ending decline of Bungie. So we're here to farm some more drama. Without further ado, let's get into it.
This was shot in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/Sweatcicle.
I sure do love Bungie, and now that they're leaving Microsoft, they can cast off the corporate chains, make games on their own.
Okay, hold on.
Leaving Microsoft, they can cast off the corporate.
Is that Luke Smith? That does not even look like the same Luke Smith, bro. That's crazy. Dude, he looks so much different without a beard. Okay, sorry.
You love Bungie, and now that they're leaving Microsoft, they can cast off the corporate chains, make games on their own.
Yeah.
And finally, they can be their true selves.
Yeah.
Put the shackles back on them.
If my 16-year-old
Thank
self
you.
had seen what Bungie has become today, I wouldn't believe it. And if you told me that in 2025, I'd think Bungie is worse than EA. Okay, sure, Grandpa.
I wouldn't go
Let's
that
get you
far.
back to the home. Yet here we are, living in a life beyond reality. Bungie has recently been exposed for some damning plagiarism, and today we're going to be covering
Tweets
Bungie's
had over
current
10 million
reputation,
views.
the state of Marathon, just how bad this plagiarism is. So let's jump into it.
Oh no,
Bungie
dude.
was the first game developer I could attach a face to. We play video games as a kid, you don't really think about the people behind them. But that all changed with Halo 2 when my mom got a copy of the collector's edition at an auction.
Ooh.
And it had a bonus disc with all these extra features like fucking Lord of the Rings. I remember watching those Vidocs and thinking, man, the people who make video games are pretty cool. Now look at me, covering the dastardly deeds of a developer that inspired me. You know, someone at Bungie once told me that
Oh, boy.
Bungie may have left Microsoft, but Microsoft never left them. And I think with each passing day, this statement continues to please Captain Hindsight.
Yeah, he
This
wasn't
is
wrong.
not the first or last controversy Bungie will ever have, but it seems like one of the worst. What am I talking about? Everyone's favorite subject in high school, plagiarism. You made this? I made this. You see, they're currently rebooting Marathon. Remember that trilogy of FPS games that came out shortly after Doom, giving Bungie the knowledge to then use that experience on Halo? Recently, they opened the Marathon Alpha up to players, and the reception has been lukewarm at best. Most agree that
Yeah,
Bungie's
if
art
that.
direction is solid as always. Or
Hey,
is
Lady
it?
Bowman, thanks for the raid.
But that Marathon's gameplay is somewhat divisive. Extraction shooters are a tough sell, but whether you enjoy Marathon or not isn't the issue. It's the unjustifiable act of a multi-billion-dollar corporation not wanting to pay artists to create art, but instead steal it from others.
And pray that they don't notice.
I love taking things.
Especially at a time when artists are being screwed over by AI. It feels like pouring salt on a guy's crotch after you kick him in the balls. So this comes to us from user N2, part of Anti-Real, the company that hosted all of the art. The Marathon Alpha released recently, and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017, the year Destiny 2 came out.
Coincidence? I think not.
Now, as you can see on some of these weapons, this logo that's pretty bad. You got caught. And you can also see these logos, though very small, they've been reused across multiple assets in Marathon. Yeah, from Marathon homepage, from Marathon press kit, from 2016. Yeah, with receipts and everything. So pretty undeniable. And 2 continues, Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over the game without pay or attribution. Important to also note, I see that Joseph Cross also follows you. Is there any insight you can give?
No.
He followed me for a few years, and a few others from Bungie. Never had any communication. So it would seem the Bungie franchise art director was familiar with the person that some of his employees was stealing art from. The more you look into it, the worse it gets. I'm gonna say that a few times in this video. These comparisons are so blatant. It's more blatant than the kid that tried to steal my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the 4th grade. It's like, dude, you asked to see my deck and then you just pulled my secret rare magic cylinder out and slapped it underneath your butt cheeks. I saw you do that. Why? So yeah, Bungie just straight fucking ripped this guy's art. Like you'd rip a fat, nasty fart on an airplane where nobody can escape because you're a...
Chat, did I ever tell you about the time that the lady shit her pants on the airplane? I'm sorry, I don't know if this is the time for this during the middle of the react, but like... I don't, so here's the thing, I wish I had a better story because I don't fully know what happened, but all I remember is like hearing some commotion, like I couldn't get up because like the seatbelt thing was on or whatever, and they were yelling at people, but like at a certain point, the flight attendant comes walking by with a big plastic like trash bag, like just walking to the front of the plane. And I'm 90% sure there was some lady in the back that like shit herself. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened, but yeah, I was afraid we were going to have to land early because there was a lot of commotion going on and I got a little frightened. Anyways, look, sorry for the side tangent. Anyways,
a terrible human being. Now, I've talked with Zavala, and even he can't defend this. Isn't that right?
Guardian, let me just say this. I could offer you 3 guns. I could give you 4 guns. I could go even further beyond and let you hold 5. But Guardian, there's no amount of weapons that can excuse plagiarism. Remember, kids, plagiarism funded 9/11.
Zavala, can you try to be normal for once?
Have you retrieved those pictures of Ikora's feet yet?
Now, if you really wanted to cope
Okay.
or simp for Bungie, you'd
All right,
probably
man.
say something like, well, what's the big deal, man? It's just some tiny logos from a random artist. It's not like you're copying a review or something. My friend, the problem with plagiarism is not always how gross or blatant the offense is. It's having to wonder if there's more. When you see a rat scuttling around your house, you don't think to yourself, oh, look, that's just one rat. No, you think, how many Jews are under the floorboards right now? Oh, Jews, I mean, geez, oh God, that came out wrong. I'm canceled for sure.
Go ahead and cancel me. I don't care.
If you're a plagiarist, the goal is to steal
What?
someone's work that
what is this video, bro?
recognizable
What is going
or
on?
familiar with your work. You hope it's obscure enough that nobody notices or cares. So if Bungie is willing to
I thought
steal
I
art
heard that
from
wrong
one
at first,
creator,
but okay.
How many others are they stealing from? Is this a repeated pattern of behavior? We'll find out later. I can't even imagine the legal ramifications of releasing a game to the public that has plagiarized assets. If you sell that to people, lawyers, help me out in the comments below. Someone get legal on this. I would probably cry myself to sleep.
Ooh,
for the
I
rest
hope,
of my life
dude,
if I ever
you know it'd be so fire is if Legal Eagle did make a video on this or the Red War lawsuit guy, dude. I would watch the shit out of that, dude.
found out that Zavala's bright blue ass wasn't original.
Guardian, I'm not fat, I'm just dummy thick.
Zavala, I don't think the cool kids say that anymore.
Fuck you, Guardian!
The more you look into this plagiarism controversy, the worse it gets. But how bad could it be? I hid loss in my design 6 years ago, and nobody caught on. And, fellas, Marathon has the loss meme in-game.
Son of a bitch.
You done fucked it up.
For those looking around, dazed and
I don't know
confused,
this meme.
wondering, huh?
I still don't
what's
understand
lost?
this. I've
What
seen
is
this
that?
and I don't get
The
it.
second I put it up on screen, you are gonna know exactly what it is. That's what I thought. The meme is like one of the most reposted images on the internet, to the point where all it takes to represent the comic strip is just like 8 lines. And this is in Marathon. They plagiarized sticks. They plagiarized sticks, man. I love from Marathon Bulletin. Come on, man. Dude, I was scrolling and they deadass stole this whole dude's portfolio, and even some Bungie devs art people follow him. This is so heartbreaking. It's over for Bungie. This is unacceptable. Yeah. I think it's safe to say parody is dead on planet Earth.
Okay, can we stop right here for a second? Do you guys think people actually care that they plagiarized, yes or no? Like, on a deep personal level, do you think people actually care? Because honestly, I feel like deep down, people really don't care. Maybe some people do. I feel like people who are artists are more likely to care, but like, not really. They care that the game is mid. Because that's, oh man, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but it's like, it's a whole nother topic of conversation. It's not to justify it at all, but it's like, I just wonder how much people actually care, because I feel like, again, the tweet blew up with over 10 million views, and this is how internet drama goes, is people forget about it in 3 days. So it's like, I haven't heard anybody talk about this after the 3-day mark. I feel like people really just don't care. And we're going to go back to the same thing, and there's going to be another incident next year where they stole something from another artist in their community. So,
So good
Only
and
5
tasty.
to go for 5 years.
Area 6 for the 55, brother. Appreciate you.
You just couldn't make Monty Python these days. Reality is simply too absurd. And if that wasn't bad enough, that this person is getting their art stolen, the gaming publication DualShockers is publicly posting fake quotes.
What?
I'm completely floored,
What?
she wrote. This is my full-time job. I sell these posters online. They're not obscure.
What?
A major company has deemed it necessary to pay a designer to imitate or trace rather than license or commission the work. Insane fake quote, LOL. I am unemployed. That's a double whammy right there. Let's steal your voice and your talent. What is happening? Homie can't catch...
You're not going to need a job if you sue and win, though. Let's be honest. Don't take a payout, sue them, and win. Just saying. And this is also another reason why I hate game journalists. Fuck game journalists, bro.
Your break. Do a good thing today and go follow N2 if you still use Twitter. But it doesn't stop there, folks. So I found this thread on Blue Sky, who appears to be another person involved with the art on Anti-Real. I'll link it in the description if you want to read it yourself. But I want to scroll down. I do not need names found on assets to assume that we have been stalked insanely by Joseph A. Cross for a long time. I will close with this. This existed for years. No one in the game industry or films hired anyone. Anti-Real became a Pinterest for these corporate games to claim our hard work as their own, to earn quick money and settle small collateral.
Who uses B-Sky, man?
Disgusting. That really sums it up well. I mean, the Bungie of the early 2000s, to think them capable of such a thing is mind-boggling. But this is the kind of thing that happens when greed takes over, and making money and
I do? No, you
cutting the
don't.
workforce and saving as much as you possibly can and being the cheapest motherfucker out there. This is...
Well, 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 if it isn't Pete Lamborghini Parsons. This is your CEO, ladies and gentlemen.
fucker out there. This is the kind of stuff that happens. And that Marathon is going to release an art book. Can we at least call it the art book Anti-Real art book? How the fuck does that work, dog? Anyways, artists are really being treated like shit nowadays. Which reminds me, remember that $8,000
But don't worry, we're going to act like we love all our artists, and we treat them with the utmost respect here at Bungie.
Including this pencil drawing of me.
We totally didn't admit publicly to hiring our fans because they would work for less money. But we love them. We love them to death. Yes, we do. We love them because they're cheap labor.
As Goku, it is gorgeous. Thank you, Folding Solid. And who could forget Dill the Great? That's me and my homie Arbiter, man. Fantastic. He's won $100. And
Okay,
sad
what do we?
What? The top. And see more of this fan art, or just now back to the video.
I don't care
Now
about
let's
your
take a
art
look
composition.
at Bungie's response. They ran an hour-long marathon with zero gameplay footage while scrubbing the art for plagiarism, as the game's art director offers a personal apology. There is absolutely no excuse for this oversight, Bungie says. So how did this happen? Well, Cross says, it came to our attention that an artist who worked on Marathon in the early stages of pre-production took a number of graphic elements from a graphic designer without permission or acknowledgement and placed them on a decal sheet that was then checked in 2020. Cross said that Bungie has reached out to Anti-Real and followed up to ensure we do right by this artist. No exact details on what Bungie
really
intends
hope
to
she
do
does
were
not take a
provided.
payout, dude.
I want to send my personal apology to Anti-Real, whose work was
Lawyer
used in
up.
this case. So, at the very least, Bungie has publicly apologized, which, I mean, it's the bare minimum, but it's something. This is one of those colossal fuck-ups that you can't really brush aside and say, oh, it was just an administrative error. Bungie accused of plagiarizing yet again. What? What do you mean yet again?
Dude, you know times are tough when Vice is covering this, bro. Like, really? We have nothing better to do on a Thursday? Like, come on, bro.
This isn't the first time. Bungie is once again in the plagiarism hot seat. This isn't the first time Bungie or a contractor working with them would allegedly lift another creator's work without permission. In 2023, artist element J21 noticed an uncanny representation of their work used in a cutscene for Destiny 2 Lightfall. You can see this pretty fucking blatant as well. No, actually it's completely different. See this triangle? See this triangle on the left? They didn't finish the pyramid. No, it's completely different. Case closed. Last year, Destiny 2 weapon skin featured identical elements of artist Tofu Rabbit's original design from 2015. In both instances, Bungie would agree to pay the artists. Is this just how they run business now?
Yep.
This is a repeated pattern of behavior.
You steal things until you get caught, and then you
it's only
pay.
happened 3 times, guys. Give them a break. Now you might be wondering, what does EA have to do with all of this? Not a whole lot. But the point remains that I'm trying to make is that not even Electronic Arts would do something this egregious. I like bringing up EA whenever other game companies pull some shady shit, because EA is like the benchmark of what you expect a greedy, soulless, awful, money-grubbing corporation to do.
Is this good for the player?
They're like every anti-consumer stereotype wrapped up into one nice, neat little package. So if EA is somehow able to gain the moral high ground over you, bad look. That's a bad look.
Bad business.
So let's take a look at a plagiarism scandal that EA had back in 2012. Just for comparison,
2012?
EA responds to Command & Conquer plagiarism claims. Controversial tank designs will not be used in Tiberium Alliance. There were similarities between the designs for Tiberium Alliance's Grinder and Bombard tanks and Warhammer 40k's Bone Cruncher and Bane
cares?
vehicles. Side note, why does Warhammer 40k always have the greatest names for everything? True Nurgle homies, stand up right now. Be recognized in the comments. EA claims that the art depicting the vehicles was released accidentally, and the IP issues have already been resolved with Game Workshop. The artwork was internal EA concept art that was unintentionally released publicly. No Warhammer 40k tanks ever have made an appearance in Command & Conquer, Tiberium Alliances, and never will.
Bro,
An EA
these games are made
representative
for like
said.
50-year-old
So,
dads
the
who like World
story
War II
here
movies,
is
bro.
that
Like,
the
who cares?
scandal has already been resolved by the time the story broke.
Tanks are
the
tanks,
story
bro.
is that there is no longer a story. The issue has been resolved. If you're being charitable to EA, they probably used Warhammer designs as inspiration to base their own designs off of, or maybe they felt a similar aesthetic would work in Command & Conquer. Regardless, the art was leaked. It was internal and it wasn't released as part of a product that people could purchase or play. This makes it way different than what's going on with Bungie, because
Yeah,
this
I
time
just don't even think it's
it has
comparable.
gone through all those channels. I think that's an important distinction, and one that's, well, EA got the moral high ground. And this 13-year-old Reddit comment validates what EA said, that they don't see any evidence of the tank on the game's official website. So they're asking, where did this image come from, basically? Now, if we didn't live in a clown world, then this would be the end of the controversy for the video. But the comedy isn't over, ladies and gentlemen. You see, Bungie had the misfortune of planning a promotional stream for Marathon right around the time this accusation broke. And well, chat, you didn't disappoint.
Yeah, we're working on a bunch of stuff, working with Lars's team.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
You could sum up the vibes in
Dude,
one.
That might be one of the most, like, awkward / worst game developer streams of all time. Genuinely, that's going to go down in history in, like, top 5 worst, like, corporate streams.
Screenshot. Boy, he sure looks happy, doesn't he?
They should have just
Plagiarism
canceled the
will
stream,
make
bro.
me God. Now, for any artists watching this, how would you feel?
Or
in this
went live with the
situation?
apology,
Just
then went
let me
offline.
know
That's
down in the
it.
comments below. I'm very curious. Yes, thank you for stealing my work. As we talked about in a previous video on AI, you can check that out if you want. Greedy CEOs and corporations are looking to cull as many talented artists as possible from their workforce, since they believe robots and AI can create art that is just as good. But as we all learned from SpongeBob,
robots can't love.
If Bungie was so interested in their art they were willing to steal it, why not hire them? And when push comes to shove, are we as a community willing to stand up for these people against the Goliath? I'm just saying, if I see a GoFundMe link pop up on my feed, pretty good chance I'll click it. This plagiarism
That's what I
controversy
said,
is
bro.
really bad because
She said she didn't have the money to pay for legal to go after Bungie, but if she put up a GoFundMe, bro, with 10.5 million impressions and counting on the tweet, you really think that wouldn't have been funded in a day or less?
Because among all the other controversies, Bungie has always had their solid art direction to lean on. But that is
She
no
has a
longer the
Ko-Fi?
case,
It's not the
as one
same.
comment under the Marathon trailer.
I think, as far as I understand, a lot of people did donate to that, but putting up a GoFundMe with the specific goal of, hey, I want to pay for lawyer fees to go after them for stealing my art. It's done. Done within an hour,
the
probably.
Bungie art team never ceases to amaze me. How do we tell him? Now, I want to draw your attention to this tweet from Jamie Greisemer, former lead designer of Halo CE and Halo 2, and the 30 Seconds of Fun guy who had a huge part in the core gameplay and fun factor of Halo. Completely overwhelmed by the response to this. Thank you so much for the support, and especially to those who have donated. It helps enormously. Good, because I bet you get a cease and desist takedown demand on your own art by Monday morning.
What?
Sorry, that might have sounded like I was criticizing you instead of Bungie's comically aggressive lawyers.
Yeah.
I love your art, and they should not have stolen it. Comically
Yeah, that might have
aggressive
came across
lawyers.
wrong. Like, I understood, but
3 words coming from a former Bungie employee. It says a lot. It says a lot. Now, how else has Bungie responded to this? Well, you could sum up everything in this one article title. The vibes have never been worse. New report details Bungie morale in free fall after marathon art theft claims. The vibes have never been worse. Marathon is expected to release in September and sell for $40. At this rate, though, so much uncertainty
still not an official
has been
price.
planted in the seeds of this game. I don't know where things are going to go forward with this, but I would be shocked if the game is not delayed. Even going as far back as Battlefield 5, when you hear a lot of negative shit about a game before it's even out, kind of poisons the well. And it's a damn shame, because I think even if it's an extraction shooter, Marathon deserves another chance. Doom got one.
I'm gonna be honest. Even if this whole art thing didn't happen, I still don't think Marathon would have sold well. If I'm being 100% honest, because the alpha was just, there really was no wow factor. Like, there were parts of it that were cool, but like, I don't want to say it felt like every other game ever, but like, the structure of it just felt similar to a lot of other games, and like didn't really have anything new to offer. I don't know. Maybe I'm just smoking the reefer.
This controversy has been a complete disaster for Bungie and Marathon by all accounts. There are no real winners in this story, except if you follow N2 and at least, you know, look at their art and give them some support. By the time this goes up, I'm sure there will be some other updates, but the right thing to do is so simple. Bungie has to fervently apologize and either credit this person for their contributions, or they write a check, a really big check. No matter what, the Bungie's checkbook is coming out. That's the right thing to do.
Nice little 8-figure paycheck.
What do you think? Are you still interested in playing Marathon? What's your favorite thing to plagiarize? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Thank you all for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace.
All right, I'll link the video. Let me know what your favorite thing to plagiarize is. That's hilarious. There's a video if you want to check it out, chat. I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and continually talk negative about Marathon, but it's just not looking bright. But again, like, if I'm being 100% honest with you, like, the deep down inside of me, I kind of hope that Marathon fails so that they will focus on Destiny and actually make that game good, maybe. Because I think that's about the only chance we're going to get for it to be good. Good again. Dent head take? How is that a dent head take, bro? I'm not saying it'll work, but I'm saying that's going to be our only chance. Because you got to understand, they took all their best people off of Destiny, all the, like the senior level designers and stuff, and moved them to Marathon. It's all D3 cope. I mean, I'm agreeing with you. That's literally what I said. I said it's probably cope. But if there is a chance, that is our chance for Destiny to be good again. Make Destiny great again, dude. I'm making hats, dude, and I'm selling them. YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the live channel for more content. And, yeah. Okay, goodbye.